start by introducing my topic today. So it's learning English painlessly. So if you don't understand something, or maybe you think like it's too complicated for you, just use the chat. Let me know. You can ask me questions. I will get to them later, not right now, because right now you will be pretty much listening to me and learning. Later, my American friend Josh will join us in about 45 minutes, and he will tell you about how to practice English when maybe you don't have anybody around, and how maybe to improve and build your vocabulary. So that's also very important for you to stay and listen to my friend, because he will be talking about our speaking club. It's a great product that we created together, and we already have some students there. But okay, let's start. Without further ado, I'd like to get to the first slide. So let's talk about vocabulary. Vocabulary is something that we have to start by when we learn a new language. And people usually make a lot of mistakes because they think like whatever word they do not know, they need to learn it. And I used to be like that. If I see a word, immediately I want to learn it. I want to write it down. I think I really need this. And I do not know yet how I'm going to be using this word. Is it useful or not? So I just think that because I don't know, so I need to learn it. But when you actually want to learn another language, you need to concentrate on learning the core. What is the core? Well, the core, it's what like basic, this foundation of any language. It is verbs, it's adjectives, it's nouns, like very important words that cover 80% of whatever you guys talking about. And also it is what you're going to use and need. For example, on the left, right here, you can see a very simple stick man who is saying like, I want more, and that's it. I want more. And the next one, all done. So that's what is the core vocabulary. So like with these words, phrases, I can express a simple idea. I can talk about something. I can go to a restaurant and I can say like, I want more food. I can go to a bank and I can say like, I want more money. So it is logical and obvious for me to learn such phrase, because I can use it like almost anywhere. That's what I call a core vocabulary. On the right side of your screen, you can see a list of 70 kitchen utensils. And it could be animals, it could be kitchen utensils, it could be like different names of different transportation modes, and like cars, houses, all those words. It could be like lots of phrasal verbs that you don't even know how to use yet, but you start learning them. And this is where the problem begins, because you learn a lot of words, you do not use them yet, and most likely you will not use them, and then you start forgetting. So you forget as soon as you learn, because there's no any chance you could practice them actively. This is why I am against learning. I highly advise not to learn such words like such lists, because they cannot help you. It's a waste of your time. And let me tell you why. Because such words like nouns, for example, kitchen utensils, you will learn when you use them. So you shouldn't be worried about like, oh, I don't know how to say napkin. Oh, I don't know how to say maybe this pizza cutter. Well, it is because you use pizza cutter maybe once in life. And that's why you don't need it. So you will either hear it from somebody else, or maybe you'll learn this because, I don't know, you cut pizza every day. So do not concentrate and do not try to learn all those words. You don't need them. You will learn them just naturally. So naturally, when you have to use them, for example, or you have to ask, like, can you please give me a box of matches? Do you have any matches? It's because I want to start a fire. Okay, but if you do not have to start a fire, you don't need matches. Okay, so what we need core vocabulary. And right here on the left side of the screen, you can see I. So it's about me. Well, obviously I need I, because I will be speaking about myself. And then I need verbs, like basic verbs, like want, go, pay, buy. Usually it's 100 or maximum 200 verbs. It will be enough to help you speak about almost 80% of all your situations you get yourself into. And then you need some other words like that describe maybe how much you want something. I have this list, and in our speaking club, we usually give this list if you really need. But that's what I'm talking about core vocabulary. Like that's what I mean by when I talk about the core vocabulary. Oh, the next one. Okay, I guess you understand what core vocabulary is. Now let's talk a little about grammar, because when we start learning any language, we go usually. What do? We usually sign up for different courses. Yeah, we maybe hire a teacher if we have enough money, and then we start learning grammar rules. Like how do I speak about future, or how do I speak about past, or maybe how do I say things right now? And some languages, they also very difficult because they require word endings. So like every word changes at the end. And this is more complicated. But in English, it's quite easy because the verbs change. So for example, like nouns don't change. So if I say like a boy, okay, I can say boys, but I will never say boying, booing. Okay, it will always be a boy, boys, a boy, boys. Very simple language, yeah? Okay, so grammar rules you need to learn when you start learning basic patterns. What is a basic pattern? A basic pattern is like a phrase like, for example, I need to. So I need to, it's a basic pattern. I need to go, I need to play, I need to eat, I need to eat, I need to sleep, I need to make money. And then from that pattern, you add more words, verbs, and then that's how your language is growing slowly. Okay. What else you need? It is very hard to understand grammar when you just open a book and read a rule, because you will understand it maybe, and you will become like a great grammar expert by filling out in those gaps. Like a teacher will give you this a form, like a sheet, and then like fill in the gaps. So you fill in the gaps and you think, oh, wow, now I know this grammar rule, so I can use it. But when you start speaking, it doesn't happen. You cannot speak. You make mistakes, and then you ask yourself, why? I just learned the rule, but I cannot use it, because it doesn't work this way. The way it works, you need a lot of input. Input is when you hear a lot of examples. Let's say if I talk about the present perfect, I have done, I have spoken. So you will need to be in many, many situations where you hear people actually using this tense. And then your brain, your mind will start figuring this out. That's how you learn grammar. You can read about a rule, it's okay, but do not try to memorize it and then somehow believe that you will use it correctly. No, concentrate more on examples. Make a list of them. Let's say you make like 100, I don't know, like maybe, okay, 50 examples using the same tense. For example, like I have just paid for my internet, let's say, or, oh, you know what? Yeah, I've just talked to my friend, let's say on the phone. That's how you actually learn grammar. You read about this, then you need a lot of examples. That's important. Next, when you deal with grammar, you need grammar only to understand why something changes and how it changes. Why and how. So if we talk about sentences, if we talk about words, then like right now we're talking about English, yes? So like here you can see like 3 different constructions. I do, I am, I can do. That's how you start. You start with these basic patterns. Like I do, it's like I go, I sleep, I eat, I play. It's about verbs. I am, it's about what I can describe myself. I can say like I'm a man, I am Vadim, I am from Estonia, I am married, for example, yeah. Like I'm a student, and then things that you can do. I can speak English, I can work, I can drive a car. And when I put them all together, like 3, I can already say a lot of things, like I work in Estonia, I live in Estonia, I am a teacher of English, I'm also a blogger, I can help you speak English fluently. And so I just used 3 constructions. When I add more basic patterns constructions to the list, so my speech is growing and I can cover more situations. I can give you more details when I speak. That's how it goes. Okay. This is what you need grammar for. So here is an example of how grammar works. So here you can see like subject, verb, object, place, time. When it's about English, you just need to understand where to put those words so that you start with, like, for example, I eat a sandwich every day, or I eat a sandwich in my kitchen every day. And that's it. So different languages, they have different sentence structure. And once you understand how it works, like with English, it's very simple. You can see it right here. It's like, I work in Estonia. So place. I work in Estonia every day, something like that. So that's how you actually use grammar. So do not really waste a lot of time learning all those grammar rules. Get a lot of input. Input, it's like dialogues, maybe like simple stories, like very basic stories, for example, that you can read. Once you get all that input, once you get a lot of examples, you can start going back to those grammar rules because they will make more sense to you. They will become more logical. But if you start learning grammar at the very beginning, then you will be confused. You will have a lot of questions. You will be disoriented. You will maybe lose your motivation because you will see like, wow, this language is very hard. I cannot learn it. Oh my God. No. It's not for me. I'm not that smart. I don't have a talent. Let's forget about this. So start by learning basic dialogues, and we'll talk about this, what dialogues you need to learn, not just any dialogues. Okay, next. Now we're speaking about how do I learn all these words? Like, let's say you learn words, yeah, and how you can use them. Like I've already said, you learn the core vocabulary. The core vocabulary I have already explained. Yes, it's the phrases that can actually help you get something, like do something. Yes, for example, you go to a restaurant and you think like, what phrases I need to learn? So I need to get some food, I need to order some food, I need to ask a question, yeah, like, what do you have? How much is it? So when you make those dialogues, you think about what you will actually say and what you will have to deal with. I call them situational mini dialogues. So when you start learning language, you start from them because you can use them right away. They do not take a lot of your time to learn, and you can learn them pretty fast. So like in 1 or 2 months, if you, let's say you started just from 0, okay, you can already go to a restaurant or a store and you can say something. This is a big boost of motivation for any learner, for any language learner. Like in our case, this is English. So if you can go to a shop or store and you can choose, let's say, a new hoodie in English, you know all the phrases, so you don't get confused. You can say like, oh, I need a bigger size. Do you have it in black color? How much is it? What if I buy 2? And so on. Then you feel much better. And you start with mini dialogues. I will give you an example later. What else you can do? Because like I was talking about how you can learn all those words. Yes. So you learn them by going through mini dialogues. Mini dialogues are related to situations that you deal with. So like if you think about situations, then first you need to learn how to introduce yourself. Yeah. If you meet somebody new, like, hey, Timur, because I see like Timur, Yuliana here, Anastasia, Martina, I can say like, hey guys, my name is Vadim. I'm from Estonia. I moved here like 3 years ago. I've been running a pretty successful Instagram page, and that's what I can tell about myself. Yeah. Then if I go to a bank, then I also think like, what can I say there? Let's say I need to open a new bank account. So what phrases will I need? This is how you learn a language. Next. Next is question answer. Question answer is very effective way to learn and practice any vocabulary. So like question like, where are you from? I am from, let's say Estonia. Like, how often do you go to the office? How often do you go to the office? Oh, I go to the office like every day except Saturday and Sunday. So like through questions and answers, you can practice. Yeah, and it's also pretty effective way. You also learn how to actually ask questions. And the next way, it's flashcards. I'm gonna show it to you because I'd like you to see flashcards. So like flashcards, for example, okay, let's say I use Quizlet. And here I have a lot of sets and a lot of different classes. I will show you what we actually use in our speaking club. For example, traveling vocabulary that I shared with everyone. If you are here, then you got my vocabulary list. Okay, let's say we start over. So here, for example, like I want to go to a restaurant and I want to split the bill. So I just learn those phrases like split the bill. Then I think about where can I say this? Obviously, it's about a restaurant, yes. So I go to a restaurant with my friend, and then we want to pay separately. So I can say like I can say to a waiter, "Excuse me, we'd like to split the bill. Can you please split the bill for us?" That's how I learn all those phrases. So I practice them, and I can use flashcards. I can use flashcards on my computer. I can install an application and also learn them on my phone while I'm maybe at work, working with my customers, clients. And whenever I learn something, I try to use it, like plan a route. So what can I say? Like, oh, I would like to go to America, and I think I need to plan a route where I will go, what places I will visit. So I'm trying to use it right away. I'm not waiting. And that's what you also need to do. Try to use this right away, okay? Do not wait. Like run out of gas, run out of gas. So let's say like you're in a car and you're saying to your husband or your wife or your girlfriend, boyfriend, or your friend, and it's like, oh, I think we're running out of gas. Let's stop by a gas station. So you always like use and try to imagine where you can actually say it. That will guarantee learning them much faster. Okay. And you see, like this is useful vocabulary. It's not just like random phrases that I'm giving to you. It's what you actually need to learn. It's called the core vocabulary. Without such phrases, you will not tell your friend that you're running out of gas. You will not. Okay, let's say next one. You will not know how to book a table. Like I'd like to reserve a table for 5. Yes, we have a birthday party at 7 p.m. So how much do you have any deposit that I need to put? Let's say, okay, I think you understand right now. So I'm going back to my presentation. And here is what I was talking about. I was talking about like mini dialogues. So here's an example. This is actually how I learn, how I teach, and this is what I'm suggesting you do. So like character user, for example, like a waiter, yeah. Hello, are you ready to order? So I could do exactly the same in Arabic, in Estonian, doesn't matter. I just need to go to a restaurant and I need to order some food. I could do it even in Farsi, doesn't matter. But if I learn this, yes, I did not know grammar. Maybe I don't know a lot of words, but if I learn this and I go to a restaurant anywhere in this world, doesn't matter. I will be able to get some food. I'll be able to pay for it, and I can learn to speak any language. Okay, this is like very important for you right now to learn. I will not waste my time learning all those grammar rules. I can learn them later naturally, but right now it's important for me to actually interact. Like interact, it means like use the language. And that's what is extremely important for you guys to do. If you want to speak English well, then you have to go through such dialogues because they will demonstrate what you need to learn first, second. Here you can also see some basic grammar. Hello, are you ready to order? Not hello, do you ready to order? No, are you ready to order? So you also learn the phrases like yes, I am. So like why it's not yes, I do, not yes, I have, yes. So you can read a grammar rule and then here you can see how it's being used. So such dialogues are great to learn and you can use them right away. Next. Okay, I think you already understand by now that you need to combine grammar and vocabulary. So like if you learn grammar separately, and then you will use grammar to construct, to make sentences, then it will be very hard because you'll have no input. You have no any information, like nothing to rely on. You have like nothing. You just have grammar rules, and then somehow you're trying to build. It's like a house. Let's say I give you a manual or instructions and materials how to build, and you will see this manual. You will read like, okay, build a house. But if you have no any information, like no experience, you will not build a house. You will build maybe some kind of house, but it will probably fall. So that's why it is important for you to see how people actually use this. That's why we go out in the world, learning those dialogues, and we communicate with people. Like today, I had a pretty simple dialogue in Estonian with a woman. She works at a parking lot, and there was a car accident today. So I became a witness. I saw somebody hit another car and then left the scene. So I decided to go to that woman because she works as a security guard, and I decided to report about this accident because that's what we do in Estonia. We actually report crime. And so she started speaking Estonian, and like my Estonian was practically zero. So I was able to understand what she was saying because I could like imagine what she would say, like, okay, what license plate, like number. And I was able to say some things, not everything. But because I learned dialogue, so for me it was quite natural, easy. I was not thinking about grammar rules because it's impossible to think about grammar rules. Yeah. But somehow I was able to explain what happened. I spoke Russian, English, and then some Estonian. Like this is what important. You combine grammar and vocabulary. So like, and that you can see in dialogues. See, what is grammar? Grammar is just the construction that I made. Yeah. Hello, are you ready to order? So when I make a question, I say like, are you ready? So that's grammar. Okay, vocabulary. Ready to order, ready to play. Are you ready to listen to me? Are you ready to join me? Okay, so like that's how you can understand just by using your brain. Okay, practice. I think you understand what I mean by that. All right, the next big issue or problem for any learner is pronunciation. Yes, because when we like, okay, so like we all speak different languages, right? Like our it's called like our mother tongue. It's what our mothers taught us to speak. It could be Arabic, it could be German, could be Ukrainian, could be Russian, like any language. Yes. So we need to make sure that we pronounce words, maybe not 100% correctly, but that we are understandable when we speak. Yeah. And this is something I would like to tell you or to talk about. Like there's a big difference between your accent and pronunciation. The accent is just your unique identity. Like, for example, like some people can guess that maybe I came from Russia. Maybe some people will not guess. It depends on how well I pronounce some words. Okay. Right now, I'm trying to speak clearly. I'm trying to enunciate every word because I would like you to understand me. But if I speak with my American friends, then I tend to speak like them, like, "Hey, what's up? What are you going to tell?" Like I change the language a little bit, and maybe it's hard to understand where I'm from. So you should concentrate not on your accent, because you will always have some kind of accent. If you listen to like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he's got this Austrian accent. He's been living in the States, I don't know, like maybe I don't know, 50 years probably already, but he still got this accent. But however, it doesn't matter what kind of accent he has. His pronunciation is clear. You can understand the words he's using. And we need to work on how we pronounce words. So how can we do this? So we can work with, let's say, videos. So there are a lot of videos on YouTube, and I'm talking about like, let's say, vlogs. Like vlog is like video blogger. So vloggers, now we call them. Usually such videos, they have subtitles. So you can open subtitles, and you can follow what they say. So you can pronounce some words. There's also a very good website I use, which is called Youglish. So like if I do not know how to pronounce a word, then I usually go here and let's say maybe okay, you cannot hear because I didn't share the sound, but let's say this word, okay. So I think maybe I should pronounce like centralized, and I think like that's correct, but still I'm not sure. I'd like to check. So I go to this website and I type it in the search bar, and then I hear like centralized, centralized. So I repeat, centralized, not centralized, but it's centralized. That's how you can work on a pronunciation. Okay. So a pronunciation has a lot of listening to do. You have to listen a lot and repeat a lot. Listen and repeat. It's not rocket science. Anyone can do this. It just takes a lot of time and patience. If you do not have time and patience, then probably it will be very hard for you to achieve great pronunciation. So next, you can practice connected speech. What is connected speech? Connected speech is when you basically connect words, right? So I can say, you'll just have to listen to me. I can say, like, what is up? Or I can say like, what's up? And then I can say it faster. What's up? What's up? So that's connected speech. I can say like, did you call him? Like, did you call him? Or if I say it faster, it's like, did you call him? Did you call him? Did you call him? That's connected speech. So connected speech you practice by, again, you watch how people speak. There are a lot of videos on connected speech. When you try to speak faster, then that's how a connected speech is created. So like, for example, what do I call it? It could be like, whatchamacallit. That's connected speech. And the last example, for example, like, please get out of the car. So it could be like, just get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car. So you can, again, use this Youglish, and it's going to help you practice pronunciation. So like any language has it, any. So in Estonian, I also feel like they have it. Okay, that's about pronunciation. So like, again, do not try to like completely remove your accent, because you will still have it, but rather invest your time in working on your pronunciation. Okay, next. So then the next one is, okay, vocabulary topics, okay, basic, neutral. Can you still hear me? I hope. Like, I need to disable this. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, like, I will just touch on some of these points. I'm not going to go into every point, but just like very important. Connected speech, I have already said that it has to be trained. Yes, a lot of videos on YouTube, you can work. Then if you actually speak with people every day, Like it could be like for example, in our speaking club, and especially if you have a native speaker. So Josh is going to join us soon. Then you also listen to how a native speaker speaks. So you're trying to copy, mimic, imitate, and that's what kids do. Kids actually imitate their parents, and that's how they learn to speak better. Okay, next, you need to create a listening environment. Especially when you start learning a new language, it's important that you have a lot of listening to do. Like right now, I am learning Estonian. So I started listening to Estonian music. I don't understand anything. Yeah, maybe I understand just like single words, like one word here, one word. It's like, I don't understand. I don't understand like one word, Tena. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand like then just one word, Tena. And this is how it works for me. But when I listen a lot, I am getting used to how people pronounce. I'm getting used to the rhythm because every language has some kind of rhythm. And after like over some time, those words or that language does not sound kind of like completely weird or alien to me. It sounds kind of like familiar. I already have all those sounds here somewhere, okay, in my memory, whatever, in my brain, in my mind. And then as I learn the language, uh, it's easier for me to recognize, to understand like those words. Like, oh, I heard this before. Yeah, it wasn't that song. It wasn't that movie. Yeah. So that's what you need to do. Like you need to create that listening environment. When I started learning English, I watched movies like crazy, like 3, 4 hours a day. I was watching different movies. I was writing down different phrases. I created this listening environment. I listened a lot. So that's what you have to do. Okay, next. When you deal with pronunciation, it's all about just being just repeating things. It's a lot of repetition to do. You repeat, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat. But you also need to get some kind of feedback. So the feedback is when you listen, record, compare. Listen, record, compare. You listen to yourself. You understand that you don't like this or that, and then you change it. You record again. So when you record again and you compare, that's how you're getting better. You're improving. So like it could be like better, 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 better. And then it's better. It's better now. So that's how it's changing. See? But you started with just better, 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 better. But you listen to a lot and you record yourself and you compare it like better, better. Oh, okay. Well, I sound pretty much like that native speaker. Okay. Like that's how it goes. That's why when you read the text, it's called shadowing. I'll show you how it works. For example, what is shadowing? Like you go to, let's say it could be like this website. I will demonstrate what shadowing is. So I take very simple text. I don't need anything complicated. Let's say driving theater. And here's the text and here's the audio. So here I can listen, I can read, I see the text, and then I can record myself. So shadowing is when I read right after. So for example, like she's saying like, Helen had nothing to do one Saturday night, like it's pretty slow. And I just read right after. Helen had nothing to do one Saturday night. So I try to copy, mimic, impersonate. I am trying to become that person. I'm becoming a shadow of that person. Okay. That's why it's called shadowing. Because this is that person, this is me. Like we're going together. That's shadowing. Okay. Because when you like why it's good to work with such text, because it's the core vocabulary. So it's the words that you use a lot. Like, oh, it has nothing to do. It's well, what's the problem? Nothing. But it could be something like nothing, 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 nothing. But when you listen a lot and you compare, you will hear like, oh, she's saying that woman's saying she's saying like nothing, but you're saying like nothing. No, 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 not right. So you try again. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So you try to mimic, imitate. Okay. That's how it works. Like that's how you are getting better at this. All right, back to it. Okay. So do this on a regular basis. So repeat a lot, work on your pronunciation, because that's important. Like if you have very clear pronunciation, people will be happy listening to you. They will not need to struggle. Yes, and they will be like happy to listen to you. So you will be like a very likable person because your pronunciation is clear. You do not need to be like American or British. You just need to have this standard type of pronunciation, like here, working with scripts, like BBC. I usually say like BBC radio, BBC radio. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about maybe something like this. Read next. Okay, now we actually get into our speaking club. Um, Speaking club is the product that I have, and there are some students here today. So, like any person who is studying or who is trying to learn another language, I have a lack of practice. I have like nobody around me to speak with. Okay, I learn those dialogues. Maybe I go to those restaurants, but what if I live in a country where people do not speak English? So what do I do? Okay, well, I can go online, right? I can, for example, I can go online, I can join a course, I can join a speaking club. But there's some other things you could do. It's called like a mirror exercise. So a mirror, basically, if I have a dialogue like this, then I can pretend, I can become that person. For example, waiter. So I'm a waiter and I'm also just me, Vadim. So for example, like, hello, are you ready to order? Yes, I am. And you're looking actually at yourself in the mirror. Yes, I am. I'd like to have a cheeseburger, please. So you're just around this dialogue. It's a bit crazy maybe for some people because not very often you stand in front of the mirror and you talk to yourself. It's quite strange, maybe weird, but it's also pretty good practice. That's what you could do. Okay, next, another thing which I also highly recommend doing is when you record. So like I can go back to this dialogue and I can record it. So for example, like I just use my phone and I record this, like I record the first phrase, hello, are you ready to order? Then 5 seconds, I don't say anything. So when I practice, I feel like I use these earbuds, yeah, earbuds, they're wireless Bluetooth. So I can just tap and this audio will be paused. And then I can think here, like in my mind, I can think like in my head and like, how do I answer? Like, what do I say? And then I try to like remember. Okay, yes I am. I would like. I want. I have. And then you say the phrase. Then you tap. You press that button, and then you hear the right answer. Okay, this is how you do this. So you record, but you have this 5 second gap. 5 second gap. 5 second gap. 5 second gap. Okay. That's a very good, useful way to practice if you have nobody around, okay? And it costs you nothing. Okay. But the best thing is actually to speak with people, like real people, yeah? So, and that's where you go to speaking club. And that's what we have. So like why people join our speaking club? They join because they want to talk to real people. They want to ask real people. They want to communicate. They want to see their emotions, right? It's also like friends that you can make online. Because for how long can you speak with yourself? Okay, maybe you will do this a week, maybe two, but then you will just give up, right? But if you have, people like who are waiting for you, who are like just they have different ideas, different thoughts, they can ask you different questions. You do not need to stress about to speak just with yourself. So what we do in our speaking club, very quickly, I'd like to show you what we have. We have a platform where we have, hold on a sec. So funny that I prepared everything, but now I have to find it again. Okay. Like we started about 2 months ago, and in our speaking club, every week we have a topic. So a topic is what we usually talk about. Let's say we choose to talk about daily routine. So to speak about something, you need vocabulary, right? So you need phrases. And in our speaking club, you will find a lot of phrases that will help you speak. So you go to vocabulary and then you can learn it by watching a video. Like this one, for example. Why I believe in the power of videos. Because if you see something, it's very easy to remember. Because we connect this image with the sound. So like here in my bedroom, I also have this alarm clock. Actually, I just use my phone. So if I want to talk about my daily routine, I can say like, well, my alarm goes off at around 8 a.m., let's say. So I learn here, go off. Then I try to answer some questions. Yeah. And we also give you some phrases like here. So we ask you questions. So we guide you through every topic. So you have a lot of speaking practice. Like what time do you usually wake up? It depends on what day it is. If it's Monday, then I wake up around like 7 a.m. Some days I wake up later. Yes, and on weekends I prefer not to set any alarm clocks because I want to sleep in. So see, like I used all those phrases from our topic, and that's why I can speak about this fluently. I can say like sleep in, it means like I want to sleep more than usual. I can say like set an alarm clock for 7 p.m. Okay. I can say like my alarm clock goes off at 8 a.m. usually. Sometimes I hit the snooze button because I just want to sleep longer. All those phrases I need to get somewhere, right? So I can waste a lot of time. I can go to different maybe books. It's to what I'm just saying. To find those phrases, I will need to waste a lot of time. But if you join the speaking club, then you just use the materials that are already made for you by us. That's why you save a lot of time and you learn pretty fast. So what else do we have in our speaking club? I also believe, like I'm a strong believer that it's important to, besides just learning this vocabulary, it's important to actually hear how a native speaker would answer those questions, for example. That's why Josh and I decided to record such videos where like he has to answer those questions. Let me actually share it with the sound because I really want to share with the sound. I think you're really missing on this.
First of all, what can I tell you? I'm not a
Now you
morning
can hear it.
person. That whole idea went out the window after 9 years of military service. So, morning routines. First of all, what can I tell you? I'm not a morning.
So like, see, when I listen to him, I can learn like, oh, I'm not a morning person. This means like I don't like mornings. And so like by watching such videos, plus combining them with flashcards, because we have all those flashcards for you to learn. So you can listen to how Josh is speaking. You can learn the flashcards. I will also show you that what we have, like we have also some stories to read. Then if you go back to, hold on a second, let's go back to our speaking club. So here he's talking about daily routine, yeah? And daily routine, it's what do you do in the morning? Like to go off, for example, to wake up and so on. Oversleep, get on somebody's nerves. Then you go to this video that Josh recorded, and you can listen to how he's answering.
Person. That whole idea went out the window after 9 years of military service. waking up at 5:30 every morning and running.
So like we even have subtitles so that you could practice pronunciation, like waking up at 5:30 every morning, running 5 or 6 kilometers, being screamed at in the face. Like that's what we do. We have the questions, then we have all those stories, and then we also make sure that you guys have the chat. Because we understand that like somewhere when you learned all those phrases, you want to communicate with others, with other members. You want to share, you want to talk about this, you want to use it right away. Why wait, right? So yes, we meet once a week. We have this online session. We meet once a week. We go online and we talk. We have mini rooms, like groups where we talk. But every day we record short like videos on Telegram where people speak. And this is happening right now. You can see like what it was just, I don't know, like, oh yeah, that was like what, less than 30 minutes ago. So people type here, text each other, speak, ask questions. And that's how you get a lot of speaking practice. So speaking club, it's not just about like one time a week you go online or you study on your own without any support or no practice. So here, like people smile, they interested in this. And so like that's a great way to communicate. So like if you join our speaking club, then you will definitely learn how to speak fluently. Because like here's a topic, but you still need to talk to somebody. So people are trying like some crazy phrase like my lips aren't never. So like they're making mistakes, for example. We are trying to correct them, help them. Lips are never sealed. We tend to use one negative. Okay. Like that's why speaking club is such a great place. If you want to speak English fluently, if you need a lot of practice, if you need good, this like perfectly chosen vocabulary, not just random words, but the phrases that you can use right away, then I highly recommend joining our speaking club. And because guys, you're all here, and I think Josh is about to join us, because I'd like Josh to speak about what we do in our speaking club. And he will tell you why people like it. And while we're waiting for him, then I will also tell you, almost like I will, let me just send him a link because it's always like that. No link in, Josh cannot join. Sorry guys, real fast. Yes, link, please. Okay, now he will join. And Josh will tell you like more about our speaking club, what we do there, and what is his point of view as a native speaker, and how it is actually helping non-native speakers like our students, and what they do. Okay. Oh, while he's joining, okay, like I will quickly talk about a few more things, like lack of time, because I know that sometimes people usually like their escape or their excuse is like, oh, I don't have enough time, I think it will take a lot of time to study another language. To be honest, I study 15 or 20 minutes a day. I study Estonian, and it's very effective because I do this every single day. So if you believe that like you need 3 hours during the weekend, no, it's not true. If you do this 10 15 minutes every day, you will get a lot of progress pretty fast. So, okay, Josh is right here, so let him talk. Okay, let me unmute him. Oh, hello, Josh. Okay, so like, thanks for joining us. Yeah, okay. 1 second, okay. Technical things. Oh, while Josh is looking for his headset, I guess. Okay, I will just talk about the next slide. The next thing is about like fear of making mistakes. I understand like, when you join a new community and you don't know anybody, so like you might be afraid of speaking because this is what we actually get. We get this fear from school, and we are sometimes surrounded by people who can be not very supportive. they make fun of you. They say like, "Oh, you made a mistake," ha ha ha, and so on. So like in our speaking club, in our community, we do not have this because everyone makes mistakes and we learn from our mistakes. So then that's why we have this unspoken or unwritten rule that we do not put anybody down. We do not belittle each other. We, however, support each other. So we do correct. We help you speak correctly because I think it's important that you get feedback. But we do this in a very gentle manner so that you can learn from this mistake, and next time you can speak better. And the last thing I'd like to say, like, it's just all a game. So, like, I mean, even after like 15 years of learning English, I make some mistakes, but I don't really care. So I learn from them and I move on. And that allows me this, it gives me this freedom to speak because I'm not afraid. All right, Josh, if you're ready. Yeah, you can speak.
Okay, good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? So my name is Josh, and Vadim and I have been colleagues for ages, and we are doing a speaking club, a marathon kind of idea, and we've been doing it for 2 months now, and it's really effective and very useful. Uh, a good community of people have been joining us in doing this. We have weekly meetings on Sundays, live Zoom call, where we review and practice everything we learned during the week, which we use. We learn the information on Vetting's platform. We do videos. You guys do videos for me. I correct your videos. I give you feedback on it. Make those corrections. Fine tune your English. And it's been a really good time. We've been doing it for a bit now. We want to continue and grow it. Me as a native speaker, as a native teacher here, I can definitely help you target those weaknesses and, help you with those things that you probably can't help yourself with sometimes when it comes to phrasal verbs or maybe idioms, collocations and whatnot. And the fact that I also speak Russian, I can easily translate some things or understand maybe why you don't understand something in English, like present perfect and past simple. In your language, it's really one tense, but in English, it's quite different. So I can easily identify with that due to learning Russian for many years and comparing the two languages and understand where those problems come from and those barriers and how to break those barriers much faster, much more efficiently. So more about the club, right? We have 4 weeks we do this, and every week we have a new theme, a new topic, a set of phrases or collocations we go over, we practice, we learn, you do the stuff on the platform. I will always do a demo video of the questions and the phrases we'll use. So it's like, I'll record a video, I'll say the question, then I'll give my own answer, implementing, utilizing the vocabulary and the phrases that we go over on Vadim's platform, right? So another thing too about this this month-long marathon, it's every day a bit of work. And it's like if you spend 20 minutes every day training something, you're gonna see that progress so much faster. And that's why we do this kind of marathon right now. It's like people want results. We live in a results-based world and we want instant satisfaction. Nobody likes to see results after 2 months. We all want to feel that result as we're doing it. And if we do it in that way, that's going to continue to motivate us and keep us developing and improving. So, spend 15, 20 minutes a day with the platform, be involved in our chat on Telegram. People are always talking on there in English. I'll throw in my 2 cents, make some corrections here or there. We take part in the conversations with the students too. And so it's constantly like a learning process and just taking in new information. That's about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and because you guys have joined this webinar, well, thanks again. You will get a link later. Yes, and we have this great terms that you can join our speaking club on. We have this 20, it's 20 years discount that we're providing right now. So usually it's 80 years, but today you can get the 61. So like you have just 2 days to join our speaking club, because after that we're going to close this and you're not going to be able to join. So if you want to join, if you want to improve English, then please use that link that you will get later from our chat bot, obviously, and go to our website and sign up for a speaking club. You have 2 days to decide, so we'll be happy to have you there. The next month, we're going to start on May the 8th, which is actually Monday next week. So you don't really have a lot of time. So think fast, join us. And next month, we're going to be talking about gossiping, like why people gossip, because people always discuss each other. They always gossip about each other. And that's why maybe we follow some people on social media, we watch their stories. But how do we talk about this? And then we're also going to talk about some topics that you guys haven't yet talked about, like relationships. We're going to cover job also. There are a lot of phrases to talk about at work. And when you actually talk about your relationships, so it's your friends, it's your family, maybe it's your husband or your wife. So like what kind of relationship you have, all those things important. So like I've said, for each topic, we also have a story, not only a video that Josh records and where you can actually learn a lot of cool phrases, but also we have this story that you're looking at right now. So here we highlight the collocations, important collocations that we would like you to learn. And that's how your English is actually getting better, because you can use them. By using them, you start speaking more and more fluently. So instead of saying, oh, I will, it will be a good discount. You can say like, oh, Vadim and Josh are giving a real bargain, or it's a real bargain. If we join the speaking club within 2 days, it will be a real bargain. Yeah. So that's what we have. We have a lot of materials. We have a great speaking club, great community, and our amazing chat where you can speak like 24/7. Really, just imagine how many videos you will record. I counted, it's been more than 1,000 text messages just within 2 months. It's crazy how much people talk. And we literally just encourage you to join. So if you guys have any questions about our speaking club, anything, then please, you can ask right now, or maybe just reply to one of those messages from our chat bot on Telegram. So once again, join our speaking club. So we use that time to, it's just 2 days. You have a great discount right now. So like the best terms, the best time to join. And join our international community. So like we have people from Cyprus, from Ukraine, and from Iran. Like Josh is from the United States. I'm obviously from Estonia. Like we're all united by the same idea to speak English better and fluently. So if you have no questions, then I'd like to thank you for joining this webinar. I really hope that you have found it useful. Because I was giving you a lot of tips on what to do, what not to do. So if you want to learn more about our method and benefit, then again, join the club. Join the club and we'll be happy to see you there. Josh, you have anything to add? You cannot talk. Okay, ask him yet. Okay. Okay, sorry.
Okay, you're so controlling. No, I'd be happy to bring more people in the group to grow this community. It's really good. Guarantee you that the feedback I give, I put time into it, I put work into it to get everybody, give corrections to everybody's videos, interact all the time. It's really important, I think, for students to have a native English teacher, accents, and so on. And that's why I'm here for, to support that and to foster your learning. And yeah, let's get to it. Starts in like what, 4 or 5 days we begin, May 8th?
Yeah. Well, Monday we begin, like we have the first topic is gossiping, like gossips. So that's where we.
I know
it's pretty hot.
They're very excited about that one with me. They're extremely excited. Svetlana, Irina, and Ferry. Yeah. So it'll be a hot week coming up.
Okay, well, so I really hope to see more students join our speaking club, because we would like to grow this community. So please join us, and we'll be happy to help you with speaking English fluently. All right, thank you very much. Like I said, please use the link that you will get, I think, in about 30 minutes, because everything is timed. And if you have any questions, then just please use our chat and reply. So we'll get back to you. We'll be happy to help you find those answers. So thank you. We have to wrap things up and go. So I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for coming, and see you later. Bye for now. Thank you.